And now we turn to the world of video games, where Microsoft is now one step closer to finalizing their acquisition of Activision Blizzard.
One of the biggest bombshells from last year was when Xbox announced that Microsoft would be acquiring all of ZeniMax, meaning Bethesda Game Studios and everything published by Bethesda Softworks.
Video game maker Electronic Arts announcing a $55 billion deal to go private in what is set to be the largest leveraged buyout deal in Wall Street history.
EA is in, quote, advanced talks for a $50 billion leveraged buyout that would take the company private. The reported potential investor group consists of private equity firm Silver Lake, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, PIF, Affinity Partners, and an investment firm founded by Jared Kushner. It seems to be the next in line of a major game publisher acquisitions in recent years. Of course, Microsoft getting Bethesda / ZeniMax, that was $8.1 billion in 2021. 2022 was Sony getting Bungie for $3.7. 2023 was, of course, the massive Blizzard buyout, Activision Blizzard buyout for $69 billion. Walt Disney did 9% in Epic Games, which was about $1.5 billion. And now this in 2025 with EA going private for a potential $50 billion leveraged buyout.
So this is a very large and complex situation. I don't think that there's any proper way to say what the evolution of this situation is going to look like. And there's lots of reasons for that. First of all, one of the major partners buying this is Saudi Arabia. They are going to, and I think it's actually like one of their cultural ministries. Yeah, what I mean by that is the country is buying it. I'm guessing they're going to want some influence potentially of some kind, and we don't know what that looks like. At first, when I was like EA is getting bought, there's a part of me that was like, oh, it's going private. And if that's the case, it's like, okay, well, maybe the people that are going to be purchasing this are, let's pie in the sky this, right? Maybe they're going to be trying to develop like games that are really good instead of just trying to make games that make money, right? This is, of course, total copium. But the idea there is that if EA is selling, then those shareholders that are obviously there for the big payout are getting their big payout and moving on. And the people buying it will hopefully want to do something good with it. Hopefully kind of, steer it in a direction that's going to make them more money and hopefully garner some of this negative PR that it's been getting over the last decade and turn it around. But the short of it is, we don't know the intentions of the purchasers. And without knowing what they want to do with the company, it's really hard to do they just want to farm it for more money? Do they have a specific purpose they're buying it for? Why is EA selling it? Like, what's going on behind the scenes? Are they just trying to get a big payout or something going on that we don't have information on? The thing that is going to suck the most here is that in situations like this generally we've seen, because there's been 5 major acquisitions almost once a year for the last 5 years now. Most of them have been mergers or merging related, which means that we've seen a whole lot of jobs get shed. And that's terrible, because that means that through these big processes, we're seeing literally thousands and thousands of people who have no influence over this stuff just get completely screwed. But when I was talking about that earlier today, about this situation, there were some people in chat that were telling me that in a situation like this, since it's not really a merger, that maybe there won't be quite as much of a shedding of jobs. I don't know enough about to make that call, because I originally thought that there's going to be a huge amount of jobs lost. There's so many unknowns with this, man. Like, how many people are going to keep on? Are they going to try to keep the ship going exactly the same way that it is? Why was the purchase done in the first place outside of just profit? If it was already making good profit. So people were asking me all sorts of questions about this today, and I'm like, man, I don't think anyone can really answer these properly now. There's so many unknowns currently. But I know I'm going to be paying very close attention to this. This is a big acquisition, one of, if not the biggest, that has happened so far.
Yeah, so, money-wise, I mean, Microsoft was $69 billion, Activision Blizzard, when Microsoft purchased them in 2023, was for $69 billion. This would be the second highest. But it definitely comes with the biggest asterisks next to it, just because of the people, that I mentioned: Silver Lake, PIF, Affinity Partners.
Yeah, I mean, it's being bought by a country and investment firms.
Well, not necessarily a country; it's more the royal family, if anything. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it really just depends on one, if it actually goes through. And this is a real thing, because this was a report that, they're in advanced talks, not that the deal was done. And two, how deep those tendrils go into the company. Things could, continue to operate as usual, or things could change. And we, like you said, we really don't know where that's going to occur, when that's going to occur, and how that's going to occur. It would just be an interesting thing to see. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure some more information will come out about that in the next coming weeks/months. That's not something that is done. If it's a private purchase, can that just be done in a week's time? In a week's time?
So it is now official. EA has been acquired by an investor consortium comprised primarily of PIF, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners. Under the terms of the agreement, consortium will acquire 100% of EA. Looking ahead, we will continue to push the boundaries of entertainment, sports, and technology, unlocking new opportunities. Together with our partners, we will create transformative experiences to inspire generations to come. I'm more energized than ever about the future we are building, said Andrew Wilson, chairman and CEO of Electronic Arts. This investment embodies Silver Lake's mission to partner with exceptional management teams at the highest quality companies. EA is a special company, a global leader in interactive entertainment anchored by its premium sports franchise, with accelerating revenue growth and strong scaling free cash flow. We are honored to invest and partner with Andrew, an extraordinary CEO who has doubled revenue, nearly tripled EBITDA, and driven a 5-fold increase in market cap during his tenure. The future for EA is bright. We're going to invest heavily to grow the business, and we are excited to support Andrew and the EA teams as the company accelerates innovation. Okay. So this is interesting. Like, EA has gone private, but the people that bought it are 100% in here to probably just make as much money as possible. This is the thing. We talked about this a little bit on Drop Frames yesterday, and I'm going to say the same thing now. I don't think there's any way that we know what can happen to EA at this point. The intention of the people that bought EA, we're going to see through their actions, not their statements. And on top of that, those actions aren't going to come to fruition for, like, earliest, I'd say, a month to half a year more. What we're really going to see from this is, like, future releases are going to dictate what this is. Like, are we still going to see, they mentioned sport franchises. Are we going to see EA go just directly into what's making the money? And are they just going to shed or sell everything else? Are we going to see an Embracer situation where maybe they decide that it's more advantageous for them to piecemeal the company and start selling individual studios? In a situation like this, we don't know the perspective of the purchasers. We don't know what they want to do with the company. So, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. Now, the other side of this is the very real thing where we now have a country's government, Saudi Arabia, who owns a very large part of it. Are they going to exert influence in future titles? That's something that I don't know if any of us know. Now, I don't think so far they've done too much of that from what we've seen. But I mean, I think at the same time, it's 100% a possibility, especially with the stake that they own currently. So, I mean, for instance, think about this. We just saw Dragon Age: The Veilguard from EA. Do you think a game like that would be made under a Saudi government-owned company? Like, that's a big schism. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens with this. I know me and many others are gonna be following it closely. I am not one of those people being alarmist right now. I'm not one of those people, like, guessing that a bunch of things are gonna happen, or excuse me, saying that a bunch of things are gonna happen. There's people that are acting like they know what's gonna come from this, and I'm like, I don't think anyone knows what's gonna come from this, man. I don't think any of it's good. I don't think much of it's very good, unfortunately. I don't perceive many positive outcomes here. But yeah, this is a very big deal, and we'll kind of see where it goes. So that's where we are with that.